my phone off too.
Craig, call Craig in.
Oh, these
yeah.
amateurs we're working with. We're live, by the way.
All right, that's okay.
This is the
People know
behind the
what to
scenes
expect.
look at what shit show is beforehand. Oh, you saw that when Dave was streaming, to be honest. Come on, Craig, where are you?
Now recording.
It's going to make
Craig
my video
is
go all
in.
weird.
We can proceed. You ready?
Yeah, well, we're live.
Ooh, how exciting! What episode number is it?
Fuck me. I
188.
just told you a minute ago.
It hasn't been updated on the show notes.
Oh, thank you, Valexa.
Hang on a second. Are those the show notes? Yeah. All right. Okay.
Oh my god.
Are we live?
We're live.
I've got an extra editing to do for YouTube now.
No, you don't. Don't edit
Well, I do.
shit.
I've got to cut all this bullshit off at the beginning.
This is not bullshit. People love this. This is like behind the curtain.
You're going to blow your nose now? Oh my fucking... Live
Okay.
nose blowing. Only available on the Seal podcast.
Come on, Neil. Got to start. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Seal Podcast, episode number 188 for August the 18th. 188 on the 18th of the 8th. I am your
Ooh.
host, Fraser. I'm joined on my left by Dave.
Hello.
And on my right by the Honourable Neil.
Hello.
The linchpin of the show. The only reason this
the
gets put out
workhorse.
every week. The work. How we doing, chaps? All right?
Yeah, right.
Very well.
Is it one of those Fridays?
Yeah.
Oh.
Every
Well,
Friday is every one of those Fridays.
I've had the whole week off, so
Oh.
I'm pretty good.
Okay. All right. Well, in the spirit of a traditional show, let's get cracking and get on with that footy stuff.
Right.
Neil, you're up.
Okay. Right, so a little bit of a roundup, shall we go? Look, Premier League is back, and so is FPL. Here we go. Fixture roundup. Champions Man City got back to winning ways with a certain Erling Haaland. Don't know if anyone's ever heard of him before. Bagged twice on the night. 3 bonus points when they won 3-0 away at the new look Burnley. Nothing much else happened there, I guess. Saturday's early kickoff saw Arsenal claim a narrow 2-1 victory over some people's favourites, Notts Forest, with Bukayo Saka taking 3 bonus points. Scored an absolute beauty. And big upset for a lot of people in the league. No Gabriel in the starting lineup. Came on for about 4 minutes.
Yeah, that got me.
Didn't get me. But I didn't get a clean sheet anyway. But I did get the assist for Saliba. Then Bournemouth and West Ham played out a boring 1-1 draw with Jared Bowen taking 3 bonus points, scored a goal. Yeah, on to Brighton, yeah. Don't know who they beat. Can't remember their name. They won 4-1 at home. Stupinan got the 3 bonus points. But he also managed to get a yellow card and no clean sheet. So he did well there. He got an assist, obviously, but he must have played very well otherwise to get the 3 bonus points, considering there was... Well, they did share the goals around. And I think one of our players got an assist for one of their goals.
How do you feel about
that was Luton, obviously.
Luton's entrance into the Premier League with that game? I mean, you're not. I mean, you're up against a big team. Brighton. Let's face it, Brighton are a good team, right?
Yeah, they came out as one of our easier fixtures on the FDR on the FPL, and I was like, "There's no way I'm taking that as an easy fixture the way they were playing last year." So I was not surprised for us to get beat. We were doing all right until about the last 10 minutes. And it conceded 2 late goals. It was 2-1. We weren't doing too bad. Could have been 2-2. But, we fucked it, basically. So, you live and learn, don't you? Hopefully.
I guess.
Everton lost their first home game of the season to Fulham 1-0, with the latter's goalkeeper Leno, which is, I know he's in a few teams, maybe he'll be on some people's benches. Made 9 saves and got a clean sheet.
Oh yeah, he was on my bench. Don't you know
3
that?
bonus points. Sheffield United got their return to the Premier League off to a losing start at home to Crystal Palace 1-0. Palace defender Anderson took the 3 bonus points. Obviously got a clean sheet. No assist there or anything like that. Can't
I
remember his
gave you
score.
shit about your Crystal Palace keeper, and he kept a clean sheet.
It's all part of the plan. You're probably going to keep a clean sheet this week. Well, maybe not, because they're playing Arsenal, I think.
And you just said that.
Yep. On Saturday evening, Aston Villa crumbled away to Newcastle. They eventually lost 5-1 and end the weekend on the bottom of the league. Alexander Isak scored 2. Obviously, Wilson came on late as a sub. He scored anyway. But Isak got the 2 goals, 3 bonus points. Sunday, early game was Brentford v Tottenham. Started off all right. It was 2-2 at half time. Game ended 2-2. Second half, fuck me. Brentford might have. It was like a Mourinho-esque performance from Brentford in the second half. There weren't just a bus parked there. It was like the whole fucking bus station was parked there. Yeah, so it made Richarlison's debut up front as the lone striker for Spurs quite hard work. I think he was probably harshly criticised, considering he had about fucking 8 people marking him most of the game in the second half. Wissa for Brentford got the 3 bonus points. He did score, and Burmo did score as well. He got a penalty, didn't he? And he missed an absolute sitter as well, which I assume he got docked points for. But it was that bad. And then on the late game Sunday, Chelsea took on Liverpool in what looked like the match of the weekend on paper. Liverpool started well, but it's fair to say Chelsea grew into the game. New boy Axel Disasi scored and took 3 bonus points. He's a defender. Cheap as well. And then on Monday night, Wolves absolutely battered Man United, but couldn't score. And then United scored late on. Not in injury time. Wasn't Fergie time, quite. But they probably shouldn't have had a win because Wolves were denied an absolutely blatant penalty. I heard people on the radio saying if that had happened in the street, the keeper would have been going to prison for assault. It was that bad.
Really?
He basically punched someone in the head, I think. I was on my way to work, so I haven't actually seen it, to be fair. Absolutely shocking from all the officials involved. It went to VAR, and they still didn't overturn. Obviously, the referee on the pitch missed it. Went to VAR, and you could see him literally like punching a guy in the head. Comes to claim the ball, misses it completely, punches someone. Not a penalty, apparently. So all of those officials not working this weekend.
Really?
Yep. Wan-Bissaka got the maximum bonus, got the assist for the goal. And the person who scored that goal was the player of the week with the most points in the game. 14 points for Rafael Varane, who's only owned by 3.7% of teams. Well, when I looked in midweek. Might have gone up a bit by now.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's that classic first week, isn't it? There's going to be a lot of reactionary moves.
Not from me. I'm being good.
Oh,
I was,
this is the wise old Neil.
well,
now.
to be fair, I'm second in our league after the first week. Got 78 points. I was pretty happy with that. I was like, everyone on my team played. That's what I want for my first week.
Yeah.
Players, everyone started, and quite a few points. And still a couple of players. Marcus Rashford and Odegaard didn't really do a great deal for me. But so there's still potential for them to go good. And Richarlison, obviously. I had three blanks basically out of my players. I mean, they played, but they didn't do anything to get any extra points.
Yeah.
How do you want to talk about your week, Quint?
Not particularly.
No. Okay.
I mean, not terrible, not brilliant, not outstanding.
What was the average score? The average score last week was 64. What did you get?
63, I think, or something.
Ooh, it hurts being below the average, doesn't it?
It does a little bit, more so when you say it and remind me about it. But
So in football-related news, as in it's a game of football, might affect this weekend, but Manchester City played midweek when no one else did. Well, in a competitive game at least. They won their 4th trophy of 2023 when they won on penalties in the European Super Cup against Sevilla, who won the Europa League. So they played a hard 90 minutes and then went to penalties. So a couple of players, like one particularly for Man City, was rested for that game quite a lot. Alvarez came on quite late as a sub. Could be quite fresh this weekend. Erling Haaland I think he played the whole game. So he's had a big 90 minutes in the midweek. Might maybe not play a whole game this weekend. Who knows? That's what I'm hoping anyway.
I took captaincy off him this week.
Yes, I think a few people have, to be fair. I've taken it off him this week. They're away at... No, they're at home, but it's Newcastle so for them. So, yeah, a toughie in terms of the fixtures they might face. Newcastle, last season at least, very good defensively. Definitely competing at the top end of the league. Obviously, they're in the Champions League, but started well last week as well, obviously, with a 5-1 win at Villa at home. But yeah, we'll see. It's early days still. Anything can happen. Some big injury news from last weekend. Kevin De Bruyne lasted about 20 minutes, I think. Before he had to go off, he's out for a few months with a hamstring. Jurrien Timber, who was looking quite good for Arsenal, out for a few months. I think he's done something to his knee. Can't remember now. It's either a hamstring or a knee. And Tyrone Mings, Dave, out for a few months. I noticed he's still in your team, though.
Yeah, I know. I meant to change him earlier, but I
Your
didn't
team
jump
looks
on
like
early
it's
enough.
in fucking dire straits already.
Yeah, he's got like
know,
4
I
reds in
know.
there, isn't he? Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
your whole bench, none of your bench played last week. Are they getting to minutes? What have you got? Donkeys in there or something?
Yes, he's got donkeys. Donkeys and people who aren't even playing this week. I've only got one player not playing this week.
Yeah, it's not going to be a very strong week this week. But I'm.
No, that's all right. You didn't have one last week either.
Well, I was optimistic for that, but no, that's.
Well, you never know. You never know. Those wild card picks that you put in, they might all do really well one week. Or, you could just go with the ones that look like they're going to do it because they've had a history of doing it. Yeah, John Stones also had a late injury sort of issue. I don't quite know what it is, but he's missing this weekend as well. But I think he'll be back following that. Been quite a few price changes for a few players already. A lot of people going down. The ones like Harry Kane, surprise, has gone down 0.1 million because like a load of people still managed to have him in their team. I know Andy Cox had a bit of a faux pas, didn't confirm his transfers and ended up with Harry Kane still in his team. So he wasn't very happy with that. He was thinking he's doing okay and then goes back to check his team and went, what the hell? Why is Harry Kane still there? So, okay. We've all done it. Not everyone's done it. Yeah, as I said, average score was 64. So if you beat that, you did well. Current top 3 in our league: Joel Reeves, 80 points, and then me and Luis Estevez, both tying on 78 points.
Lewis giving it the large again.
He has been giving it large, or like in the post-season from last year, and yeah, it started well. So he learns quick, that guy.
Yep, he's moneyballing it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how we go. It's early days, but yeah, I'm happy with my start. I'm only a millionth in the entire. On Saturday, I was rubbing my hands. I was like 300,000 for something in the country in the whole game. I was like, yeah, that's pretty good. And then Sunday and Monday didn't go so well. So, yeah. Hi, Pilch in the chat.
Hello, Pilch.
Good to see you.
Good. Okay. All right. Shall we move on to listener stuff then?
I haven't done the head-to-head because it's first week. So basically, there's a load of teams that have won and a load of teams have lost. So there's loads of teams on 3 points and loads of teams on 0. I could run through the results if you wanted me to quickly.
Nah.
Okay. It'll get more interesting in like sort of 4 or 5 weeks in. We'll start to see a bit more of hopefully a bit more of a spread in points. And it might be a bit more interesting to go through that.
All right. Good stuff. All right, let's move on to the listener mail. Paul W. says, considering the lack of exclusive games on the Xbox and the novelty of Game Pass being the norm, does Starfield need to get pretty much amazing reviews to keep the Xbox project momentum going? If average reviews, has this gen's Xbox peaked?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to say I don't know as well. As time marches on, I become more and more thoroughly confused with Game Pass. I mean, as a service is something that I can just turn on and find games to play. Fantastic. I mean, it is great. But there's a part of me which is like, can this thing be sustained? Is it making the money? Is it good for the developers? Is it good for the publishers? Is it good for the consumer?
Apparently.
Yeah, I think. Well, you're probably hitting the nail on the head that for a certain sector of game publishing, type of game, size of game, expected reach.
I think the mid tiers and the indies seem to enjoy the exposure it affords them. They get probably a lot more people playing their game, and then word of mouth means they probably they obviously get paid from Microsoft, and then they get a bit of an uptick on places like Steam and Switch and PlayStation, I guess, as well.
And if they've got any DLC,
that's
not included with the Game Pass, they probably get a few bit of sales through that. So from a business standpoint, I can see why they do it.
Whether it's I don't know if it's making Microsoft money, but
well, it's a value add, isn't it? It's what's the point of having Game Pass? If
they're making enough money, to be fair.
Well,
the only thing I could maybe see is that Microsoft have to part ways with Xbox potentially if they get too big as a big business. So
they bought Bethesda as well, didn't they? And the biggest game that it will probably be the highlight of the whole Xbox series is going to be Starfield.
Well, they are. It is not a system seller now. It's a subscription seller potentially.
It's a service seller, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. I think it'll probably be okay. It's out there now. I know people have got their codes and they're reviewing. They're in the review process. 1st of September, I think, or the 31st of August is the embargo for reviews. So they've given them a good nearly 2 weeks to play it. I don't think you'll be scratching the surface.
No, I think people on the premium.
They get 3 days early, don't they?
They get. I think they get a week early or so. I don't know. I thought start of September for that. So
yes.
Yeah.
Not going to be a lot of time to get much ahead of everyone, is it? Who cares anyway? I'm going to be I've pre-installed it on my Game Pass on my PC.
But it's probably going to have to be completely patched and.
It's 138 gigs that I've already downloaded.
So they don't mind, do they?
Well, it's a big game, isn't it? That's on my main super fast SSD at the moment, which has got my Windows on as well. So.
Well, it has to be an SSD installation. So.
Well, I'm looking forward to Starfield. I'll get in there and I'll reclaim some of that Game Pass money.
I still don't have to pay until April next year.
Has this gen's Xbox peaked? It doesn't even feel like
there's quite a few games coming out this year, isn't there? Still.
Yeah, we'll see. It doesn't feel like this gen doesn't feel like it's got going like the old gens used to, right? It just Is that us or is that this?
There's still a lot of games coming out on the older consoles, isn't there? Because not so much for the Xbox, but the PS4's got like 120 million PS4s out in the world, isn't there?
They can't ignore that.
Exactly.
Can they?
They can't just go.
Just leave money on the table. Yeah.
Although they've sold 40 million PS5s, there's still 3 times as many PS4s out there. So
wasn't there somebody was saying like the last Wii game released? It wasn't that long ago, right? Because there were so many Wiis out there, they were still just knocking. Let's have a look. Last Wii game released.
Yeah, that's been a while though. The Wii. That is a long time since that came out.
The last game releases for the Wii were Retro City Rampage DX Plus and Shakedown Hawaii in 2020.
Wow. There's more of those out than PS4s, isn't there?
Probably.
There was a lot of Wiis.
Well, PS5's only going to be 3 years old soon.
Yeah.
So that's. I can't see.
Still a baby. It's barely a toddler.
Yeah, and it came out during the COVID.
Yeah, I think that's been a right fuck up, hasn't it? That's fucked everything up.
Yeah.
COVID is still responsible for basically screwing this entire generation. And we're only literally starting now to get the games that you would have wanted to launch with. That are actually exclusives.
Yeah. There's still legs. I think. I don't know.
Paul W's got it. Oh, I beg your pardon. Sorry, Dave. Go on.
So I was going to say probably 8 years on this cycle.
Yeah, maybe.
It's a long one. That's a long one.
It sounds long, but I mean, the other one stretched. Last generation must have pushed close to that.
2016, wasn't it? 2015.
That was
Xbox One. I feel like it was 2015, something like that.
2013.
I was going to say, actually, it might have been 2013. That was when they did that 2013 was the fucking shocking E3, was it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's metric.
Yes. Wonder what he's doing. now.
Paul, who cares? Paul W's got another question for us. What are your thoughts on the $39.99? That's pounds sterling price tag for the retro port of Red Dead Redemption to the PS4 and the Switch? In my honest opinion, the Switch version looks great and almost fair value due to it being a technical achievement, but the PS4 version should have been closer to $19.99.
It's a bit of a rip. It's $50, I think, US. That's a lot, isn't it, for a game that came out in when was that?
I think
That was a
it's getting
360
bundled.
game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's getting bundled with the zombies too, isn't it? I think if
Oh
I saw.
wow, that was about 15 quid when it came out.
Well, a lot of people haven't played that, so I mean that could be something to.
What was that, an Xbox exclusive or something?
No, I think it was on both.
Well, that was when
but
360 was good then. Like that was popular.
yeah,
I don't know if that was a separate release.
It was.
Yeah, it was.
I think I
Yeah.
definitely. Well, I've got it on my account. I
Red
think.
Dead Nightmare, right?
Undead Nightmare, wasn't it?
I never played it.
Yeah, I don't think I played it really. I didn't finish Red. Did I finish Red Dead, the original? I can't remember. Maybe it's been a long time. Memory's a bit hazy.
I can't see them putting a PS4 version out for $19.99 though, Paul. I think you're
30.
you're dreaming a bit
Yeah,
there.
but it's like you can buy Red Dead 2 Ultimate Edition at the minute. I know it's on sale, but it's like fucking 18 quid or something for Red Dead 2 Ultimate Edition on PS5. It's not a PS5 game, obviously. PS4, but
Well, I'm guessing Red Dead's never been out on the PS4, is that right?
no, it was a PS3 though. They just didn't
Yeah.
do the backwards compatibility thing like Xbox did with the
Yeah, well, they
from the
couldn't.
360. So I don't know. It's a bit. I mean,
Yeah,
who wants
it's
to
not
play
really my
Red Dead
game
though? Other than
style.
the Switch, the Switch. It's a bit of a weird fit for the Switch, though,
Red
isn't it?
Dead's shit game, isn't it?
Well, it's better than the second one, isn't it?
I only say that to wind Chinny up. Well, okay, thanks, Paul. Pilch says, how many drafts would it take to take down a killer whale? The quality keeps coming, everyone.
I have a question. Yeah, like, can giraffes swim? Because I'm pretty fucking sure killer whales can't fucking walk on the land. So it kind of depends where it happens.
Lots of questions need answering here.
Well, all it needs is one. You just stuff the blowhole up with the giraffe.
One giraffe leg.
One giraffe.
You reckon that'll fill that hole? Yeah, I guess it would.
They're not. It's not a massive. They're that big.
Are they?
I don't know. Yeah,
Whales are pretty big. Whales are quite big.
about head size. I don't
What,
think.
my
I don't
head?
think you. You got quite a big head.
Massive heat.
I don't think you can. I don't think I think a small child can get sucked in the blowhole, but not an adult male.
Ugh,
So-
getting sucked in the blowhole. Ugh.
Yeah.
They were. All right, moving swiftly along.
Show no.
Anyway,
Hello,
if it
hello,
happens,
Pilch.
if it
Anyway,
happens
hello,
on dry
Pilch.
land, it's definitely the giraffes. So I've got a fucking big advantage there.
We will throw in a hello, Pilch, and welcome back from your hiatus. It looks as though the gopher's poked his head above the ground again, and he's out and about. Welcome back. Master Blackthorn's written us a bit of an essay here. He says, this gen seems to be the one where the so-called big studios and publishers have dropped the ball a bit, and that's being kind. This seems to have given those smaller publishers and devs like Focus Interactive, Lyrian Studios, Saber Interactive, etc., studios which have made smaller budget AA games, the incentive to push their games to the front. Games like SnowRunner, Baldur's Gate 3, Plague Tale games, recently Remnants from the Ashes 2, etc., have filled the void left behind by bigger titles. Do you agree? For me personally, games like the upcoming Lords of the Fallen have me excited to see what the next games are from these studios. Sorry for the badly written essay. Have a good show, chaps. Toodle pip. I think he's spot on there. You know, there's some great not AAA titles, but certainly A titles, right? Double A's and AA
Where
titles.
have you played some of those games?
Have I?
Where have you played them? How have you played them? Game Pass?
Game Pass.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe Game Pass is good, I guess.
Yeah.
Would you have played as many of those games if you hadn't had Game Pass? Probably not. But yeah, there's a lot. I mean, it seems like it takes a lot of money to make a big game, like a PlayStation style game. They're spending fucking hundreds of millions on making games. But the technology to make good looking games is it's free generally until you make a certain amount of money, isn't it?
Mhm.
Like Unity and Unreal Engine, you don't have to pay for that. You give them a cut of whatever you make, sort of thing. So, yeah, I think the tools are available to make really nice looking stuff, and people keep leaving all the big studios and starting their own ones as well.
Well, it's typical in business, isn't it? You know, you have these big companies that do big, fantastic things, but they are like steamships, you know, massive ships. They can't turn on a dime. They are full steam ahead, and if they, you know, they can't veer off course, otherwise it's disaster.
Mm.
Whereas, you know, and that leaves the openings for these smaller companies to do something, right? You see it in business, and you see it in this business too. It's interesting. You know, and these smaller companies too, if they produce a title, you know, if they produce a title that can only run on this super hardware like an Xbox Series X or a PS5, they've cut themselves off from a lot of other stuff too, right? They want that Switch market. So if they can scale back a bit and make something a little less intensive and still just as good, more than possible,
Yeah,
more in their
I don't know.
favor.
There's definitely well, I don't know about. I've not really looked at Lords of the Fallen. I know what it is. I played the original, didn't really like it, but that was pre my Dark Souls era. But Lies of P is the one I'm really interested in playing, and of that side of game because I've really liked the demo of that.
Yeah, I remember
And
you playing the demo.
yeah, that's out soonish, about a month.
Sometime in September.
And that's
I
on
think,
Game
right?
Pass, so I don't even have to buy it. Awesome.
Yeah.
Just
So yeah,
rent
I've
it.
got a lot of Game Pass games coming up, but I keep I've not really been playing my Game Pass, I have to say. I've been Golf with Friends is my most regularly played Game Pass game because I'm like, oh, I've got 5-10 minutes. I can't be asked to load anything big. I'm just going to play a round of Golf with Friends, but with no friends. I just play it on my own.
I'm glad you said it.
It's quite good. It's quite a good little mini golf game.
Thank you, Master Blackthorn. I'm not sure whether we answered you there, but it's an interesting.
I agree. Generally, yes.
Yeah, I think he's hit the nail on the head. Lord has given us a quick quiz. Shall I rattle through these questions, shall I?
Go on then.
Question number 1. What is the highest rated film on IMDb as of January the 1st, 2022?
Bit of a strange date, that.
Godfather.
Oh, is it only released films since that date?
No, before that date. So obviously it can't have anything that came out after the 2022.
Oh, okay.
Inception.
Fuck off. Shawshank Redemption.
Sound of Music.
Question number 2. What is a group of pandas known as?
A murder of pandas. There you go.
Rare. A group of pandas.
A
A family.
deliciousness of
A family.
A family of
There's
pandas.
not many of them.
I don't know. I'll go with, I don't know, a collection. I have no idea.
Well, you're really trying hard tonight, aren't you?
I have got nothing.
They're bears, are they? Are they bears?
Yeah, they're bears.
Yeah.
So what's a group of bears called? Fuck knows.
Family.
A fuck! There's loads of bears.
A fuckload
Troop.
of
Is it a troop? Hang on a second. Think of the Cubs. Think of Cubs and Scouts. No, it's wolf
Sixers.
packs.
Sixers and seconders. Arcala and Balu.
Pack of bears. Pack of pandas.
Pack of pandas.
Pack of
I'll say
pandas.
pack. Question number 3. What country has the highest life expectancy?
Japan.
That's a good shout.
Oh, good shout, Dave. I'm not
I was
sure whether
going to
that's
go for
true
a
anymore.
Scandinavian country.
Yeah, I was thinking Finland or something.
I was going to go Norway. Norway.
Norway.
All right, Finland, Norway, or Japan?
Right,
Has anyone got answers?
I've got answers. The highest rated film on IMDb as of January the 1st, 2022 is The Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, really?
A
Is
group...
it that good?
I don't know. It's not that good. It was
I
good.
never was a
But
fan.
I reckon there's better films.
Yeah, of course there are.
Is that a user-generated score?
And I haven't watched any of
IMDb.
them recently.
I don't know. Anyway, a group of pandas is known as an embarrassment.
What?
An embarrassment of pandas.
All right, I like it.
That's a good word. isn't it?
Fucking pandas.
Doesn't make any fucking
They
sense.
should be embarrassed. Look at them.
clinging on to life.
Could have
I'd
been
say
extinct years ago.
they're probably the worst bear there is, isn't there?
Is it?
Oh,
They're
yeah.
so cute though.
Right. How does that line up with the bear
Yeah.
brand? Not very well, right? I mean, maybe for the teddy bear brand, but
Yeah.
not the rip your
Yeah, but
face off,
that-
deglove your head bear,
I don't think bears are that dangerous, are they?
Yeah.
mate.
I wouldn't want
Polar
one as a
bears
pet.
act.
Polar bears, you're not likely to run into one of them though, are you?
Well, I'm more likely to run into one of them than a normal bear. But yeah, polar bears actively seek out and murder humans.
Oh yeah, that's why they say in like all the Arctic places or wherever they have polar bears, like all the people leave their car doors open, unlocked, right, so that people can bolt into the cars if
Oh, okay.
if there's a polar
So
bear.
pandas
yeah.
haven't pandas. Polar bears haven't worked out how to open a car door, obviously.
I wouldn't muck around with any bear. Anything with claws and teeth.
Apart from a panda, apparently.
It's even the smallest things with claws and teeth are going to do you damage.
Yeah.
You do see people
Like
play with them
cats.
in the zoos and stuff.
What? Only like zookeepers who like
Yeah,
regularly
I
obviously go in
don't know if I told you I played with some tiger cubs once, and those things were powerful, small, vicious, bitey and sharp. They were
Did
cute.
you-
Like all small animals.
How did you
They're
get to
cute.
play with tiger cubs then?
I used to work at Safari Park.
Oh, of course you did.
Yeah. It's like kittens. Kittens that are like a couple of weeks old. They're bitey, like needle pointed gits.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
think I'd rather get bitten by a little domestic cat kitten than a tiger cub, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I
I wouldn't.
Go on, what are you going to say?
Nothing. What country has the highest life
I
expectancy?
was just
then?
about to say that. The country with the highest life expectancy is... He's put Hong Kong Phooey, but I assume it's Hong Kong. Not, 'cause I'm like, Hong Kong Phooey's not a fucking place.
Hong Kong's not a country, is it?
It's
Sort of
It's
is.
a principality of
it?
China.
It was.
Yeah.
It was a country, but it's now
It-
China. Sort of weird.
It's a self-regulated principality of China.
Hong Kong?
Apparently so.
Hong Kong. Yes.
I'm not sure about that one.
Oh, what? For the life expectancy, probably not.
A big city like I don't
Maybe
know.
before the Chinese took it back, it was the highest.
Yeah. and
Now
how
it seems like it
population
might be a
got-
bit of a dangerous place to not be Chinese.
Mm, Not sure about that one. We'll have to go to an independent. We'll have to send that to VAR.
Oh well.
I like the
Oh,
stories.
those
about
guys
people-
that were not working this weekend, can we get them on it?
It's probably better at this one than they were at the football.
Yeah.
They take them 10
Or-
minutes and they still get it fucking wrong.
Yeah, nearly every year there's like a story of like somebody living to like 130 odd, like in a random country, and it just turns out that their parents died and they're still claiming their pension and pretending to be them. Yeah, yeah, they're still
that
claiming
legit?
their parents. Yeah. All,
Oh,
like whenever you see a
wow.
story of like
Because the kids
all
would
these
be
really
100.
old people, yeah, it's like they're still claiming their parents' pension and their own, and they're
Nice.
just yeah.
Just scammers. Lock them up and throw away the key.
Yeah.
100-year-old fucking criminals. Draining the state.
Drinking from the trough.
Benefit
Yeah,
of scroungers.
Thank you, Lord, for the quiz. It's much appreciated. Okay, let's move on then to what we've been doing.
What have you been
Anybody
doing
like
then?
to start? I haven't got anything in there. I don't even know what to say. I haven't
You've been
doing
getting
anything.
stoned, obviously.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Well, I watched a program, but only if I watched one episode of this program. Andy Cox put it in the Discord after we were talking about Silo, I think it was he mentioned.
Yeah.
The Lazarus Project, which is on Sky. Season 2 is coming soon, apparently. I saw an advert for after I'd watched the first one of this episode 1 of season 1. And it's a bit science fiction-y. Like, he said he didn't want to give spoilers. I can't remember what's in the trailer. Well, the new trailer's out, and basically, some guy wakes up and realizing that he's lived like the previous 6 months before, and he gets contacted by these people who are the Lazarus Project, and there's stuff that happens. This secret society type thing where they are basically in charge of keeping everyone safe and stuff. So he ends up joining this crew, and yeah, it was it's British. So it was a bit weird. Like, there's big action scenes, and I don't know. It's not quite Hollywood, is it? I don't know. Never it. Like American, like HBO Max and all that, or HBO shows. They look like cinema, but for TV.
Right.
But this looks like a TV show. It doesn't look like The Bill. Don't get me wrong.
Isn't it like a Doctor Who style?
No, it's better than Doctor Who. Probably.
Okay.
It's a bit because it's got decent special effects, but like they're just not HBO level. It's but it was good. It was a good story. The first episode, good start. Be watching the next few, see how it goes. But yeah, good recommend, Andy. Thanks for that. I'll watch about the first 7 out of 9 episodes or whatever, and then not watch the end like I do with every other show I watch. And Mike Redmond of the old World According to Gar and fantasy football player. He posted something in our footy channel called ImmaculateFooty.com. So it's a website, and there's a quiz. There is a soccer quiz, and then there are other sports. I have no fucking chance of doing the baseball quiz. I don't know fuck all about baseball. I can't remember. There was about 5 sports, and I was like, I ain't going to do any of these other ones. But the footy one is very hard. You basically have a grid of 9 squares, and then along the left-hand side there are 3 categories, usually a club or a country, and the same again across the top. And you have to match like each square. So there'll be like, say, Tottenham on the left at the top. So the top row, you've got all Tottenham, and then across the columns, it'll be like Bayern Munich, Chelsea, and then today's is with like scored more than 10 goals a season. And then you have to fill in the blanks, basically. So you have to match up. Some players have done all 3 in one column, so you might have to pick the right one. Otherwise, you might not have, or you might not be able to think of any. But then I did it all right yesterday. It took me fucking over an hour of sort of thinking and getting some help from my son, and then searching some players on the internet. I don't put the teams in. I don't search the clues. I think of someone and think, I wonder if that's the right person. And I search them, and then I look and go, oh yeah, they did do that. Or no, they didn't fucking play for those clubs. Or whatever. Like one of them was Croatia today, and the amount of itches or vitches that I put in, and they were all fucking Serbians and Montenegrins and fucking all the other countries that were former Yugoslavia. But very few Croatians I managed to pick. So I wasn't very good at it today. And I only got about 5 today. But I couldn't be. I just gave up. I was like, I fucking can't be arsed. But it's if you like your footy and you like a quiz, I think it's good, but it's very hard unless you know. Like my son plays FIFA, so he just like, oh, I know all of these because I'm like, yeah, because he's doing his ultimate team, and the player comes up and it has their country flag next to it, and so he's good with flags anyway because he's always had a thing for flags. But yeah, he's quite good at remembering where players have played and shit like that. So he was quite good at it. But I did all right. I did 5 on my own today, but it was quite hard. So I'll give that a shout out. So thanks for that, Mike.
So he's a vexologist. Is it vexillologist?
Yeah,
A what?
vexillologist. He knows his flags.
Flags.
Oh, did you just search that?
Yes.
It's like,
I know.
fuck.
I went, I know what that is. And then I went, oh, no, I don't. I can't
Oh,
remember.
did you search for something
I had
and
to
it's like,
search.
oh no, it's not that. Like I do with my football thing. Yeah, he's. I wouldn't say. I don't know if he's an expert like he used to be, but when he was little, I think my mum had a book with loads of countries' flags in, and he just. We had years later. We had like a little pack of cards, and it was like the flag quiz or whatever, and he was just like fucking nail every single one, and it was all like St Kitts and Nevis and random ones you don't fucking know at all,
Nice.
and he just know them. I'm like fucking hell. So yeah, a vexologist apparently.
All right. Anything else?
I went to go opticians today. I've ordered my new specs.
Brilliant.
Yeah, exciting. Fucking loads of money, obviously. I got a free NHS test though. Woohoo! Because my mum's had glaucoma, and I've obviously been tested for it. Yeah, she's all right. She's not had it proper. Like she's had like the corrections that she's needed in time to not go blind. But yeah, so that means I now get a free eye test. Oh, okay, didn't know that.
Oh, well, is it genetic? Is it?
Yeah,
Right.
and obviously I've been having work done to prevent that potentially happening. So free eye test for me. Ooh, 25 quid saved.
All right.
Good job my glasses weren't 320 quid. Oh yeah, they were.
Well, oh my god! Couldn't you just use your existing glasses and?
My prescription's changed, and I'm hoping.
No, but yeah, just pop the glass out of the old ones and.
No, but the frames aren't. It's the lenses that are fucking expensive. My lenses are like fucking £200 or something stupid.
Okay. I
'Cause
thought
I
it was the
have
frames that were expensive.
Varifocals because I'm old.
So look,
Yeah, I wanted
yeah.
to do a bit less of that, having to look like crick my neck back to look at things close up. So I paid more for better lenses. So we'll see how they get on.
No, good
So,
luck.
so you should have one that's like really like strong, and then one not so much, and like be winking at people.
Well, I'll tell you what, I asked him about contact lenses, and he said, I was like, how does that work when you've got like what I've got? Because I need like varifocals.
Yeah.
I was like, how does that work with fucking contact lenses? It's like basically the middle bit of the contact lens is for like up close, because when you look close, apparently your pupils shrink in to look
Yes,
at up
zoom,
close stuff.
isn't it?
Yeah, and so you shut off a load of the outside of the contact lens, and then when you're looking further away, your eye opens up a bit to look at this. And so the outer edge of the contact lens is for distance. I was like, oh, that's interesting. But he says they also do this thing called monovision, where one of your eyes has the reading lens and the other has the distance lens, and your brain fucks around and fucking works its shit out, does its magic, and you can see like long, far, and close. Just with you don't have to like shut an eye to see what's going on. But your brain's clever enough. But he says some people just can't do it. You either get it or you don't, and no one really knows until they try it whether that works.
What do they do? One of those magic eye tests on you? Because it's probably the people who can't see those are just like, no.
Can you do them?
Yeah.
Could you do that? I could never do that.
No, I can't do them.
I was going cross-eyed and like, because you're supposed to look through it, aren't you? Like expand your vision past it.
And it just
go in. Basically get really fucking stoned and like your eyes just like glaze over. You get 1,000-yard stare and then go, oh, I can see a panda and its family.
Yeah. I can see an embarrassment
of pandas.
Yeah, no, I don't have a stereo vision, so yeah.
Yeah.
You
can't.
The amount of hours that I've tried to do them, no.
I end up focusing to like the other way, which I guess you should be able to see a mirror image apparently, but it doesn't. I never fucking did it. It looks like a load of dots. I don't know. That's what it looks like to me.
What's that?
All right, Dave, what you got?
Oh,
You've got a big piece of news, haven't you?
I've got a big piece of news.
Start your shitty piece of news first, then.
Okay. I watched Sweet Tooth season 2.
Right. Now, what's the big piece of news?
I like Sweet Tooth. I think it's very good.
Were you a fan of Twisted Metal? Oh no, Sweet Tooth. I'm thinking the wrong one.
Yeah,
Sweet Tooth is the one with the
deer
dog kid.
Deer.
Yeah, the deer. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I was thinking of Twisted Metal.
That would have been Twisted Metal, not
because that's
Sweet
got
Tooth.
Sweet Tooth in. Yeah, I know. I realised my mistake as soon as I said Twisted Metal. It's been a long week.
No, Sweet Tooth season 2 on Netflix. It's good. It's good if you watch the first season.
I didn't get on with it.
No,
I watched the first few episodes and then I just thought,
Better things to watch.
no. Well, it's not really. That's the problem.
The Bear
Yes.
is very, very good.
That's Disney, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I watched the first episode of that. Didn't grab me.
No.
So
No, I've
apparently,
worked in.
Only Murders in
What?
the Building's got another series coming out, and I didn't even finish watching the second series of that.
I didn't. No, I like that one. No, I used to work in a pub with a. I've worked in multiple pubs, with restaurants, and it's so stressful being around that and actually seeing it on the TV. It's as stressful as I remember it as in the
you
pub.
could feel your stress levels just watching it.
Yeah. I'm just
It's
like,
an interesting series. So for anybody who's watching it, like so I'm on season 2, and episode 6 kicks like a mule. Yeah, I guarantee you now, episode 6, you're going to see people winning Grammys for that, or Emmys or whatever like that. That episode was. You should watch it, Neil, for sure.
I haven't got Disney now.
But so yeah, it's an intro. I don't think the second season of The Bear is fantastic. I think some of the episodes miss a little bit, but I think a lot of the episodes hit. It's very different than season 1. But anyway, sorry, Dave, go on. Sweet Tooth.
Yeah. So finished watching that. There's going to be a third, and I suspect final season of that. It tells a story. And
I hope so.
I mean, it's a season 2. So it's quite funny with these ones, isn't it? So the first season is kind of setting the scene and it's world building and it's really good. Season 2 in a lot of these programs is just sort of putting down the groundwork for the final season, or like actually pulling off a decent story at the end. So there is a little bit of
Filler.
yeah.
So Netflix.
Have they had a fly episode yet?
A fly.
When I call the fly episode, it was like in Breaking Bad, where I don't know, in one of the seasons where they just spent the whole episode trying to chase a fly in the laboratory. It's when they're scraping the. It was
Breaking
not
Bad was
good.
Breaking Bad was good.
Bad overall was good. Okay, it was good. I don't think it was as great as everyone thinks it was, but it was good.
We're gonna have to go back and watch that again.
That's another one I've watched the first. I didn't even finish the first season. I watched like 4 or 5 episodes, and I was like, nah.
Yeah.
Oh, that goes to places though. That's the first series is not the weakest.
I think when he dissolved a body in a bath, but the bath dissolved and like it all fell through.
No,
the
it was the
ceiling.
floor that fell. No, the bath didn't dissolve. It was the floor.
Well, yeah,
because the bath came through the floor.
Because it dissolved the bath as well. But that's like, and
no, it didn't dissolve the bath, did it? The bath came through the floor, didn't it?
Well, yeah, but it's got to get out the bath, hasn't it?
I think it was overflowing, wasn't it?
No, it went through the floor.
Anyway.
Anyway. So anyway, my Steam Deck arrived this week.
Oh, exciting!
Ooh, so
did you buy a refurbed one? I can't remember.
I did.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. I bought the 512.
512 or the 256? 512's got a flashy anti-glare screen on it or something.
The top model I bought.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Did you get all the? I haven't seen you if you've changed your Steam profile. Do you get all of that bollocks with it?
No, but I will do at a later date. Basically, all that flashy keyboard and emotes and all that, that's tied to the unit. But obviously, whoever had the unit before me has redeemed all that.
What?
And then sent it back. So I got it and I said, "Oh, you can redeem your flashy new things." And then
what do they do to refurb this? Give it a bit of a wipe, and then fucking make sure the account had been deleted.
It's all tied to the serial number. So honestly, I can't change the serial number on the unit. So it has been raised because I nearly raised a ticket with Steam as well, saying I can't do this, and
it's already been pay your extra £100 for.
Yeah, somebody's already on that, right?
Somebody's already on that, and so they're working out a way of sorting that out. Obviously through the orders. So yeah. So for I installed a couple of games. I installed Dave the Diver, Wreckfest, Sims 4 for the daughter.
What?
Do you own that on Steam? Sims.
Yes.
Oh, it's free
You're
to
giving
play,
it up
isn't it?
for your daughter.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Well, I thought because she nicks my computer sometimes, so I thought if I can palm that off, like, I've still got my computer. But and then I went through what I thought would be simple, but it was extremely arduous, of installing some emulators for Switch games.
Which?
So you have a Switch.
I have a Switch. Yes. So there's two ways around it. Either you jailbreak your Switch and basically download the keys off that to pretend that your
Sorry,
Steam
what are
Deck
you trying to do?
have an emulator for Switch games.
What? For what? You mean
So
So it can
for
play a good version of
dodgy
Tears of the
Switch
Kingdom.
games?
so I can
look,
copy my Switch
look,
game.
hang on a second. All right, this is not the veteran gamers, right? Where they don't care, right? Where they're just going to pirate everything and just not worry about it, right? Let's have some integrity here.
Well,
He owns Tears of the
Oh,
Kingdom, so he can.
He even
he can
fucking owns
download.
a Switch.
well,
Yeah, but you
I
can play a good
do,
version
yeah,
of it, where
yeah.
it doesn't
Well,
chug.
What
yeah.
are you talking
look-
about? Good
So-
version. Stop your nonsense down there in the lower left corner. Now you up top. What's driving the Switch emulators then?
It's literally, Zelda. I've heard and seen the fact that it's so much better on the Steam Deck than it is actually on the Switch. So, like, if anybody goes through this process just to do that, don't bother. It took me about 5 hours of fiddling about, restarting, getting all these keys and stuff because I've got the version 1 original version of the Switch that I could have jailbroke mine, but that's a whole process as well, so I ended up downloading that.
Right, but you wouldn't jailbreak the Switch to play Zelda, though, would you? Because you're still
You'd
playing
still
it
be
on the
playing
same
a shit
hardware.
version of Zelda.
It's not a shit version. Will you be quiet down
No, but-
there?
No, but what you need to do is with all these emulators, with the Switch ones, you need the code off your Switch because there's a specific, basically pretending the Switch is a Switch and it uses a proprietary like serial number or code per device. That you need to put it in the registry of the actual emulation, and you can use your own or you can just download it. But download whenever Nintendo see that people are sharing their codes, they ban those codes of the Switches offline if they use an online system. So
You wouldn't
yeah.
use
Anyway,
your emulated Switch online, would you?
yeah,
Huh?
yeah, and you can do and like
No,
if
your
ever you-
emulated version of the Switch on your Steam Deck. You wouldn't go online to Nintendo with that.
people do.
Well, they're
Yeah.
nutters, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, this is see, this is another rabbit hole I went down. If you ever go onto Twitch and search up Animal Crossing rooms, people set up rooms for trading items on an emulated Animal Crossing and basically cheat coded their way to all the items and just giving items away to people that go onto their Twitch TV and then join their rooms and play. There's a rabbit hole of weird things that people do with their Switches and games and stuff, and shared rooms. So, but it's not as like if anybody said, "Oh yeah, I've done all these emulation things and it was so easy to set up," it's not. The emulation setting up, it took me probably like 6 or 7 hours to sort out over 2 days, and a lot of sort of trying to work things out is really hard, and ultimately not an actual payoff to it, because it's not. It is slightly better than the Switch because I've been playing some of the Zelda. Obviously, I can't port my save game over from my Switch, which is a bit annoying.
not
So
seeing any upsides here at all.
not
What
really.
are we trying
I-
to get out of this? What maybe some just avoiding a
I-
couple of frame drops or something? I don't
So
know. I'm
it's
not even too sure where all this discussion of Zelda is shit on the Switch comes from.
it's
It's just better elsewhere.
the
So it's
frame rate.
comparatively
It doesn't
shit.
sound better.
The frame.
It is if you
frame
play it
rate
on a
is
desktop
better.
PC.
It is better. It's not massively better, but it's better. One good thing about the Switch is I do have a dock here on my desk, so I can have set it up like my PC here and have two
So instead of
screens.
playing on your PC at your desk, you can just play on your Steam Deck at your desk.
You said Switch.
Well-
Do you mean Steam Deck?
Yes, sorry, Steam Deck.
You bought a dock for it.
I've already got a dock for work, and luckily it works. And
Oh.
the missus got a dock
Is that
on her.
USB-C?
Yeah,
I've got one of those. Interesting.
it's this one.
Oh,
Yeah.
buying a refurb Steam Deck, are we, Fraser?
Well, I was already thinking about it. but
Can you
I
get the
don't know if you
refurbs
know
over
how-
in Canada then? They
I'm
started
sure we
selling them
can,
up
yeah.
there.
It is a great unit. It's quite light. I think for what it is.
It's heavier than a Switch, though, surely.
I don't think it is.
It looks bigger than a Switch. Is it? Is it
It
my
looks
imagination?
it is slightly bigger, but I think it's slightly lighter. Yeah, it's got buttons galore all over the place. The touchpads are haptic feedback, and
Haptic.
it does haptic. It does a really interesting thing that when you're using the touchpads for the keyboard, is that the right it takes a bit getting used to. The right touchpad is for the right part of the keyboard, and the
Yeah.
left one is for. And you can and I've started to work out to actively use both to create sentences really quickly.
It works.
It sounds weird, but yeah, you basically got two touch pads to navigate around and start typing things in. Yeah, it took a little bit getting used to, but yeah, it's
Like Nokia predictive text. At first, you were like, "What is this? What is going on?" And then when somebody explains it to you, you go, "Oh yeah, this is a great way to write text messages."
Give it a go.
Just stop telling people to duck off.
So yeah, that's good. The Dave the Diver plays great. Wreckfest plays great as well.
Wreckfest, that's good. Like,
Yeah.
Dave the Diver is definitely like a
Oh,
prime
that's gonna
candidate for like Switch. Like that game needs to be on the Switch. They'd sell so many on the Switch, and the Steam Deck is it's just like it's a PC Switch, isn't it? So yeah, that feels like a good fit. Call of Duty, maybe not so much.
No, maybe not so much. I am tempted to get a controller for it. But because I've got an Xbox 360, I don't think you can. I think it's got to be an Xbox One controller.
Or is that when it's in dock mode?
Well, anytime. You can just pair a Bluetooth controller with it.
What, as a second player or something? To have a second player?
No, it's just as a controller,
as a controller.
like using a pro
It's
controller.
got a controller built
Switch.
into it, though.
Yeah, no, you can just not use that and prop it up and have a different controller.
Controllers are better.
That's the thing. Like, yeah, it's that
he's going to buy a controller for it, and he's going to put it into his dock. Then he's going to put it onto his screen, sit in his chair at his desk.
Yeah.
Well, it's the computer.
And he's going to have an
Yeah, you've got a computer where you sit.
he's going to have an extremely underpowered PC at his desk.
Or my daughter has an extremely underpowered computer at her desk while I'm using my computer.
Yes.
So yeah, obviously it has a desktop mode, which is so it's out of Steam. It's just a Linux Steam OS that has everything you want. Has a I've played some online Xbox online games.
What, in like a browser?
Yeah, Edge browser. Added that to Steam.
So is Edge on Linux? Is it?
Huh?
You add Edge to Steam as a non-Steam application type thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you go into desktop mode, install Edge, log into your Xbox One account through that, and then add Edge to Steam, and then add the Xbox Live as a favorite, and then added and then played it through there. Played online games through that. Perfect. No problems. Obviously, it's not running. The only thing that's running on the
Yeah, that's
Switch.
wait. The last battery
I
lasts
keep
a bit
saying
longer.
Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't actually got to a point where it's like I've run the battery down or anything. But I played like an hour of Dave the Diver on the sofa the other day, and it went down like 20% or something like that. So it wasn't that taxing. I have heard the fans boot up, and they are pretty loud. When I was playing Wreckfest on it, because obviously that's a bit more taxing. But I was sat at the desk doing that. But it's a good machine. I like it.
It's a neat toy.
It's a brilliant toy. Yeah. I'm away like not next weekend away. Next weekend after that, so I might take it then. See if I can give it a decent run for its money.
Mm.
I'm off next
Cool.
week, by the way.
Oh, all right.
What you doing?
I'm going away for the weekend. Start Friday
Well,
to
so
Monday.
you're away next weekend, Dave? Did you say?
I'm
Following
not sure
week.
if it's next weekend.
Mm.
Not sure if it's next weekend or the weekend after.
Bank holiday weekend next weekend.
Mm. All right. All right.
I went to see a doctor's this week.
Okay.
Sounds
exciting.
I don't know if I said my knee. Since I moved, my knee's been playing me up. Basically, I hit it when I was moving something really heavy, and I hit it against a big metal pole. And it's sometimes just agony. So I was trying to get a regular doctor's appointment for about 4 or 5 days, ringing up at like 8 o'clock in the morning or close to 8 o'clock in the morning as I couldn't get an appointment. So in the end, I realised I get Bupa healthcare through work. So I literally rang up Bupa and said, "Hello, I'm with Bupa through my work. I don't know any of the details, but what are they? What am I covered for?" And they sort of went through what my cover was and said, "Oh, can I have a doctor then? Because my knee's playing up." I said, "Oh yeah, well there's a knee specialist just down the road from you. We can sort you out for an appointment tomorrow." I was like, "Brilliant." So I went and had a consultation with the knee doctor, and he said, "Yeah, you've probably completely fucked your cartilage because all of my muscles up my leg and down the right side of the leg on my calf hurt." I said, "Yeah, that's prime. Normally you see it in high impact sports injuries, but you were carrying something really heavy and whacked it against something really hard. So yes, you've probably completely fucked your cartilage. We'll get you in for an MRI. You get you in for an MRI next week." I was like, "Am I covered for that?" He looks at my paperwork. Yeah. So I'm having an MRI next week.
Nice.
And then I've scheduled another appointment to have a consultation about the results. But I was just like, this like, I'm just
doctors that aren't overwhelmed by unprecedented demand for their services.
Yeah, I had health cover. I can't remember whether it was Bupa, but I had health cover when I had a knee problem, and I ended up having my knee surgery by the guy who did the knees for the English rugby team.
Right.
So yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, that sort of private coverage is all right.
Yeah, it's. I felt really bad. I felt, because it's not that bad. It does hurt a little bit, and I'm limping around sometimes, and I was just like, I just want a doctor, just to like, and I, NHS is fantastic, but it's so overwhelmed, and it's like the stupid rules that you can't get an appointment unless you call on the day to get an emergency appointment. So why can't I just say, "Give me an appointment in 2 weeks' time"?
That really bugs me when they say, "Is it an emergency?" Well, it's like, if it was an emergency, I'd go to fucking A&E, because that's called accident and emergency. It's not an emergency because I don't feel like I'm going to die, but I'd quite like to see a doctor because it's fucking me off, and it's been like this for 3 weeks.
Yeah, and it's
Couldn't
dunno.
you see your normal? Don't you have a regular GP?
Yeah, but you
that
literally
would-
have to phone
Yeah.
up every day to get
Yeah,
an
you
appointment.
have
They
to-
only do
you have-
day
yeah.
appointments. It's fucking
Yeah,
stupid.
you have to ring up on the
Unless
day.
you get in and get seen, and then you seem to be able to, like, if you like there's potentially a way around it. Is you register to be able to book online, and you can get an appointment online before they open the phone.
Right. But yeah,
But
even,
8 o'clock,
even
it's
that.
just like you phone up on the dot, and either you get the out of hours reception, and you're like, "Fuck it, I've gone a bit too early,"
Yeah.
and then the next time you phone, you get through to the proper thing, and it's like, "You are number 72 in the queue," and you're like, "What?"
Yeah.
It's like, how are there
Yeah.
so many ill people?
Yeah, I went through 4 days I tried to get an appointment. The first day I called at like 8:45, and I was
That's
way too late. The second day I called at 8 o'clock, and then I was in a queue for like I was 40th in a queue, and I was like, fuck this is stupid. I'm not waiting that long. I was just like I was on the line for like 5 minutes, and it seemed like I went down 2 or 3 times. So I was like 35 or something in the queue. And I was like,
You just got to the point where everyone gave up. Like, if you waited 5 minutes more, you'd probably go down about 20
probably, yeah.
because everyone just goes, "Fuck this," puts the phone down.
Yeah. Third day, so after that I registered online, and I tried to do it online, and I got most of the way through, but I hadn't my account was created, but it wasn't registered with the doctors correctly. Even though I don't know, that didn't work. And then the fourth day, I think I overslept. Like, I was like 8:30 by the time I woke up. I was like, oh god, it's gonna be too late to do it. I was like, oh
Yeah, you
fuck
got to
it.
be in there straight away.
I was just like, I just randomly remembered something through my work saying I had Bupa Healthcare. So I knew I had Bupa Dental. I was like, I think they've done medical as well. So I rang them up and said, hello, my name's here. My name's David. I'm with this company. Have I got healthcare? I said, yeah. It'll give you date of birth and your address, and yeah, we'll confirm all the details over the phone with you. I was like, oh, can I have a doctor then? Yeah, we'll put you in.
I'm going to phone up tomorrow. Hello, my name's David. I'm with this company.
Yeah. It's so like it's so easy, and I just I say I felt embarrassed for the NHS, like how bad it is. Like why are they doing like these one day? Like, is it to stop people cancelling? If people keep cancelling or not turning up for appointments, make them the ones that have to do it on the day. It just seems so arbitrary to. I don't know.
It's fucked up.
It's annoying. It's annoying, and I feel bad because they are overworked and underpaid and everything else. But yeah, literally just saying to like going through the private medical. Oh, can I have an appointment? And like, can I have a MRI? Yeah, I went through and once I had a consultation, it was like, oh, okay, I've been sent over here. I was honestly expecting like months, well, like for an appointment to MRI, but no, I went over to the desk. So, oh, I need, I've been advised I need an MRI. Oh, we got some space next week. Do you want it? It's just like
Probably have to still go to a fucking NHS hospital.
no, it's all in the house. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's across the road from the general, so it's probably, I don't know. Maybe I suspect the general send people over there, to be honest. But yeah, it's annoying, but it's good. It's good for me.
Yeah.
Because hopefully I'll get my knee sorted out. Because it's been it's not been great. And that's it, I think. Yeah, Steam Deck, Sweet Tooth, and Doctors.
You'll be able to
What have you
play
got?
loads more games now, then, Dave, with your Steam Deck.
And your bad knee.
Oh,
From
my
your
bad knee.
wheelchair, you can.
Yeah. Well,
your
that's
hospital bed.
That's the long game. It's the
So you waited till you got your Steam Deck before you decided to go and get your knee sorted out. I like it.
That's the one,
You clever girl. Okay, let's move on then to what we've been playing.
Right.
If I can ask you, Neil, can you go on with COD? I've just
You're
got to
gonna
dip
fuck
away
off,
from
are
my.
you?
I've got to just disappear for 2
You're not
seconds.
interested in COD now.
Got
nothing to say about it.
I'll be okay. But I just do need to go feed my animal. Hang on a second. I'll be back.
Misses. Right, well, yes, I continue to play some more Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War campaign. Last time...
So where are you playing this for?
On my PS5, on PS Plus.
Oh, yeah.
It was one of the PS Plus monthly games, the bottom tier of PS Plus. Like, this month, maybe? And last time I spoke about it, I was saying how it felt really heavy and sluggish, and that I probably needed to go and look at the settings. And I did that, and the settings were on medium, I believe. And I was like, well, this isn't really medium, is it? So I cranked it. I think it was on like 5, and I cranked it to high, which is about 10. And then it goes up to a fuck knows what is insane, apparently, like the top level of sensitivity on your sticks. I was like, I didn't go that far. I just went to high and went back into the game. I was like, oh yeah, starting to feel a bit more like Call of Duty now. It's a bit easier to turn that camera and feel like you're not fucking walking through treacle. And yeah, it's been a while since I played a Call of Duty campaign. And I kind of like this one. I don't think I finished the most recent Modern Warfare. It's a bit cheesy, as it is. You know. That's Call of Duty, isn't it? It's cheese. But yeah, it's your sort of CIA going in doing like Black Ops. So obviously it's all off the books. There's Ronald Reagan giving you orders and loads of audio logs with Ronald Reagan talking and stuff like that. It's obviously not him. Yeah, I don't think it's going to win any Oscars, like for story or anything like that. But it's all right. It's like a little sort of bit spy-y, but you know, obviously you're going around shooting shit. This video's crap. Sorry. And yeah, it's I don't know. Like I say, Call of Duty. But the gunplay's all right. It takes a bit of getting used to going back to playing with a controller. I have got the multiplayer. I assume there's a few people playing that now. It's cross-play as well, so I haven't tried the multiplayer.
Okay.
Because last time I played multiplayer, on the PC, I got absolutely shafted. Generally, multiple times, over and over and over and over again. It's got zombies, which I haven't tried either. But yeah, so there's a bit there. The campaign is one of the better ones I've played, I would say, recently. Like Modern Warfare, like I say, what's that, 2019? I didn't finish it. It was all right, but it was a bit boring. But this is a bit like you have a bit of agency in what you do. Like you get in between missions, you go to like a sort of hub area and you can look at this briefing board and choose whether you want to do like a side mission to gather more intel, which might, I don't know if it unlocks certain things, or you have a load of evidence in which might give you more info. I don't know exactly what it does, but you can find evidence, optional evidence in side missions that might help you in the main campaign missions. I don't know how much. Obviously, I don't think it does loads to like change the missions that much. But it's there and something else to do. And you're like, I'm going around, I'm taking pictures of like maps in a complex that I was doing in between dying multiple times because there's these heavy enemies which you have to shoot about 1,000 times in the head before they die, which is not a great feeling, I have to say. But, you know, there's not that many of them about, thankfully. But it's all right. It's all right. But like I say, maybe I'll try the multiplayer. I don't know. I'm just watching a video of the multiplayer now. This is apparently Cold War. It just looks a bit like Call of Duty, doesn't it? But I don't. Well, that's one thing. It does look pretty nice on the PS5. It's definitely had a bit of a glow up. And like the cutscenes The graphics in the cutscenes are pretty good.
Okay.
I really like Call of Duty videos on YouTube. Fuck me, they're awful. All of them are shit. Trying to find a good one without someone's mug on the fucking video constantly or anything like that. It's just terrible. But yeah, probably. But I'll try and finish it. I think I'll try and finish it, and maybe, like I say, I'll have a little dibble dabble with the multiplayer.
I think the
I
multiplayer.
think I might be able to launch Warzone straight from Black Ops. I downloaded Warzone on the PS5, but you have to download Modern Warfare 2. I thought, but there's like, you know how Call of Duty does this whole like, it's all linked now, isn't it?
No, I think it's one launcher.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a bit confused.
The...
Like, there's a bit on the right that says Call of Black Ops, and there's a bit on the left. And I'm like, does that mean I can just launch Warzone from it? So I'm not too sure, but it's Call of Duty, isn't it? You know, Razor's back now.
All right. Did I miss much?
Call of Duty, it's a banger. It's the best game ever.
I don't believe you.
It's all right. What's next then?
All right. I don't know.
I'm not going to get it on.
Dave, go on. What do you got?
I don't know. What have I got? RoboQuest.
Oh, yeah.
What is
Yeah.
RoboQuest?
RoboQuest is a Xbox game. A Game Pass game.
Did you play it on your Steam Deck?
I played it on both on my PC. Did I play it on my Steam Deck? Can't remember. Might have done. I might have seen it on my Steam Deck. I was like, I'll play it on my computer. It's not very good.
Maybe you won't be playing it on your Steam Deck.
It's like what it seems to be is like a story-based game. It's a first-person shooter with randomized guns. From what I can see, it's a bit like Borderlands gun style.
It looks a little Borderlands-y.
Yeah. The graphics are quite simple. All the guns are randomly generated, so you don't know what you're picking up. But the levels, at least the levels that I've been playing through, are quite small and very linear. And you're basically fighting from one side of the map to the other through like one or two corridors with some random gun pickups. I haven't played it a huge amount, probably half hour, 45 minutes. It felt good to play, but I don't know. It just didn't get me.
It says it's a roguelite.
Yeah, that. And so I didn't actually die, but I read about that. I think it's you, like when you die, you restart from the start, but like you keep some of your, I don't know, not story progression, but maybe guns that you've unlocked or something. I don't know. It was a big bag, all right.
It looks good.
Yeah.
Download it. Have a go.
Reminds me, I played one that was on Game Pass called Gunfire Reborn. That was a roguelite first-person shooter.
That's rated pretty highly. That
yeah,
one.
yeah. That was all right, but I never really played it. After trying it, I was like, it's a roguelike. I either get on with roguelikes or not.
Yeah. Give it a go. It's
I
not
never
a massive
finished
download.
I don't think I've ever finished a roguelike.
No.
All right.
But yeah, it's got all the sort of double jump and sprint, and one of the weapons I did have was a chainsaw that was quite fun to play with. In that, basically, I just had to sprint towards the enemies and get them, and that changed up a little bit. But I don't know, I'm
not going back to it then. Not going to bother going back.
Had the right ingredients, but just didn't get me. The other game I've been playing a bit more of.
Oh, Dave's going again.
I'll go again. Is it's only a quick one. I played a bit more of the Pikmin 4.
Maybe you should call it Quickmin. Pikmin 4 then.
Oh,
Pikmin
very
4.
good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Recently. I know.
Was this on the Steam Deck or on the Switch?
This was on the Switch actually. Yeah, I restarted the demo because it was quite good.
So still
and
on the
it's very-
demo.
It's demo is about 4 hours long. But I restarted it because the demo it's only restricted by I think it's like an energy amount that you can get. So basically, I played it a bit longer and I did different parts of the big level that you start with. And I was just collecting everything the first time I went around, but I was actually actively like doing the missions so I could play different parts of it. But yeah, it's a really good game. I'm quite tempted to buy it.
I downloaded the demo the other night, but I haven't got around to trying.
Yeah. I've never
played.
I didn't play the first 1 to 3 either. But no, I like it.
I've heard a lot of talk about this versus the older ones and how if you were going to play a Pikmin game, play the latest one. Basically, don't go back and play the old ones because apparently there's like a whole time limit thing to the original game. This is the only one that hasn't had this like you basically got 30-day cycles to finish the game in the old ones when they've got rid of that apparently.
Right.
Have you played the old ones, Fraser? Bit of a Nintendo boy.
I played Pikmin back in the day on the GameCube, but I didn't really get on with it. I don't know why. I think it just was too much worky. It was, I don't know. I didn't really.
My daughter
was
played
cute,
it
but
and said that she got annoyed with them telling her what to do all the time.
right.
So because yeah,
not really my thing. So
you have to solve puzzles.
Right.
It must be a bit, a bit of brain work.
yeah, I might try it though. Who knows?
I might forget. Like I say, I downloaded the demo, but I ain't gone back on the Switch since. Can't remember. I downloaded some other bits. I think I've got Donkey Kong. What's it called? Tropical Freeze. You played that?
Yeah.
I haven't played that.
Donkey Kong Country Tropical
Yeah.
Freeze. Yeah. Have you?
That's supposed to be good, isn't it?
They're good. Solid platformer. Yep.
Yeah. So we bought that digitally ages ago, and I haven't played it. So I should probably play that.
You should probably check it out.
Check it out.
All right. That Pikmin 4 then.
That's Pikmin 4.
I'll go. I've been playing more Dredge.
I bought Dredge.
I had a few days off, and I didn't feel compelled to go back to it, which worried me. But I'm starting to realize that the only thing that I just don't want to play games anymore. I think that's my problem.
Right.
But actually, when I sat down and played some more Dredge today, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So
you know what would be good for a Dredge?
Don't say Steam Deck.
Seems like a good Steam Deck game.
I think a Steam Deck would be a great idea. My biggest problem is I just can't deal with the small screens anymore. But I've said that before.
Then you just buy a dock. Plug it into your PC screen.
Yeah, I know. All right, then for the same amount, when I go buy a decent PC, right? Dredge is good. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I went back to it today. I just lost myself in a bit. There's stuff to do. I don't think it's a friend of the show, Matt. He's finished it. He picked it up this week and he's finished it already. He just went hard as nails at it and finished. But I don't think it was that long. Obviously, he's finished it off.
He doesn't speak to his family,
He's hardcore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like it. I made some progress today. If you're about to start it, Neil, then I won't really talk in depth about what's going on. We'll do when you are into it. Then we'll start doing some spoiler chat. I think Dave should try it too.
This week,
but
yeah. I forgot to talk about it when we got the football. It's fucking World Cup final, isn't it, this weekend?
It is.
Yeah, my family's in England this weekend too.
England, Spain.
Yeah. So they can watch it.
Your family?
Yeah, my wife and kids went to England
Oh, are
yesterday.
you on your own, are you?
Yes, I'm a bachelor for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh my god, 2 weeks. Oh,
2 weeks.
are you going to
Hence
survive?
why the big bag of weed.
What are you talking about?
Oh,
Oh, brilliant.
The first.
so many good games are going to come up for the next couple of weeks then.
Yeah.
Right.
See.
So yeah, I've got, like I say, I bought it. I haven't started it for me.
Yeah.
Dredge.
Okay. We'll get on that. I'd like to talk to you about it. So that'll be cool.
Cool. Okay.
Like I say, I'm really enjoying it. I was a bit
It
concerned.
looks super nice.
I've got a feeling I'm going to make it to the finish on this one. So that's good.
Okay.
Well, you bought it, so you should, and you're past
Yeah.
refund time, so
Yes.
You're
well
committed.
past it now. I'm probably a good 10 hours in now. I
oh,
think, so.
blimey.
All right. You want to go next, Neil?
Okay. Well, I did buy another game, which I will talk about now. At the same time, I bought Dredge. I bought a new game, which I did sort of just look past it as it was on the Steam homepage, like as a brand new release last week or the week before, and I kind of just didn't really pay much attention to it. Then I was flicking through Eurogamer, and they gave it 5 stars, and I was like, oh, fucking hell. They don't give many games 5 stars these days. So I thought I'd have a look, and there was a demo. The game is called Turbo Overkill.
Sounds so generic.
It does sound very generic. That's
It's
kind of why
such
I
a-
just
such a
totally
nothing
didn't really
title,
look at
isn't it?
Yeah.
And then so I was like, okay, and I read the review, and I was like, oh yeah, it does actually sound pretty cool. So it is a boomer shooter, I guess they call them, but
Oh God, do we have to have a genre for everything?
apparently, I like a boomer shooter. I think it's a bit more than a boomer shooter. It's very like it takes its inspiration.
I don't know what a
from
boomer
old-
shooter is.
It's
So
Doom, old Hexen, all those first-person shooters that Quake, I guess,
Serious
the original Quake,
Sam.
Unreal, those games, yeah, that you were just moved
Nukem.
at like 1,000 miles per hour when you move. It's really like you're really super mobile. So and it's a little bit retro looking, but it's got this kind of cyberpunk. What's that? It's like what's the thing when there's like the picture of the sun? Synthwave. Kind of-
vaporwave sort of stuff.
No, it's a synthwave I'd go with. Vaporwave sounds like it's got nothing there. Synthwave sort of soundtracks with a bit of like rock guitar built in. It's like very Doom soundtrack style. It's definitely better graphics than old Doom and stuff like that. And yeah, but the thing with the boomer thing is like you are moving super fast. Like when you push forward, you fucking like going like Billy-O forward. But it's definitely a lot more 3D enemies and things like that. Loads of different enemy types, picking up shitloads of gun types, fucking explosions going off everywhere, and the hook with the guy, your main character, it's a bit OTT basically the whole game, but
That doesn't
you're-
surprise me looking at it.
you
No.
are like a cyborg kind of guy, technologically enhanced human, and the stick is on your, I can't remember. I think it's your right leg. Basically, you can when you bend your leg, a fucking chainsaw blade comes out of your leg, and so when you're running at full pelt and you do a knee slide, your chainsaw pops out of your leg and you just like fucking carve through all your enemies and they're just fucking getting splattered around everywhere.
Nice.
Yeah, it's fucking cool. It's stupid and fucking cool, and like it's
Ah,
non-stop.
I know what this reminds me of. Far Cry 3
Yeah, Blood Dragon.
Blood Dragon.
Yeah, that's the vibe of
Ah.
the graphics for sure.
Is it like because that's like the 80s style,
Yeah,
over the top. Yeah, probably not like I don't know. I can't really remember that game. I know I played it. I played it.
yeah.
quite a lot, and-
Started it, and never really never really played it
Oh.
properly. But yeah, that's not a bad shout. As terms of the visual vibe, it's definitely a bit Far Cry Blood Dragon. But yeah, it's just fucking like it's got all the story stuff that happens is just stupid and over the top.
Right.
But yeah, the level design's cool. You start off with quite a few abilities. You've got like a double jump and a short dash, an air dash. So you're quite mobile from the beginning of the game, and quite soon into the game, you get some magnetic boots, and there's certain things that you can like run along walls. So it's like Doom mixed with Titanfall, mixed with Far Cry Blood Dragon, and like the music just does not stop pumping into your fucking ears, and you're picking up new augments for your body. Like, well, you have to earn. You basically, some enemies you kill spit out a load of coins, so you collect all the coins, and then there's like little machines around the levels, like where you buy your upgrades, and there's another machine that keeps yapping at you. It's a splice machine where you go to actually apply your upgrades to your body. You've got 2 slots in each, like your left leg, your right leg, your left arm, your right arm, and your cortex. And then I'm still quite early in the game. I don't know how long it is. But yeah, I've got multiple augments that you can switch in and out at the splice machine. So I've got, when I used to do a knee slide and kill loads of enemies, every time I kill an enemy, I get 3 health and 3 armor, which is worked out quite nicely because there's a load of enemies that are just fucking cannon fodder, and then there's a big enemies that you need to fucking worry about because they're going to just kill you. But yeah, it's just been a lot of fun so far. I've not got too far into it, but I'm feeling like I'm going to play this a lot until I finish it. And it's just like, it's a nice, I say nice, it's pretty gory at times. But yeah, it's just very kinetic, very grr. I don't know really what to say. It's fucking very satisfying to just go around and murder all these people. And there's loads of like, like Doom, you have like the little hidden secrets. If you spend a little bit of time exploring the level, you can pick up,
find the little guy,
find the little extra bits. I don't know what you get, to be honest. If you get all of them in one level, I don't know. It's like 3 things to find in each level, and I've never found all 3 of each thing. But yeah, it's an assault on the ears and the eyes in the best way possible. Tiring. Yeah, it is a bit like, I did find myself getting quite drained, but because of the onslaught. But it is a lot of fun, and guns feel good, and like this is the speed of your movement. It's just like, oh yeah, I haven't played a game like this in a while. I'm fucking like running around at 100 miles an hour everywhere. Yeah, but it's very cool. And I recommend it. It's got like, I recommend, if it sounds anything like you might be interested, play the demo. And I played the demo and I was like, yeah, I think I'm in. I'm buying this. It was like £13 or something stupidly cheap. So yeah, Turbo Overkill.
All right. Okay. All right. Dave, do you want to do your last one?
Yeah. So I played some Airborne Kingdom again on Xbox Game Pass.
Had you played this last week or not?
We've had it mentioned a couple of times, haven't we?
No, we were asked about it last week.
Yeah, that's it.
Said it sounds like a Dave game. I didn't get on with it.
No.
It's more of a city builder, which is not a bad thing. But it's no, I don't know. Basically the premise is that you're an airborne kingdom, and you have to design like where people work, to send little planes down and gather resources from the land. You want to get the housing. You want to get the warehouses, and basically you create this city in the sky, and you got to keep on adding propulsion and uplift, and making sure that it's not too heavy on one side or the other. And it's more of a puzzle game with 3D physics.
Right.
than a city builder or like a character story game like RimWorld or something like that. So it's okay, but it's not my bag. But I can see why people like it because I think there is a lot of depth in there. There's a lot of customization and working things out. I played it for like an hour, and I sort of met another kingdom on the ground and picked people up and harvested loads of resources and stuff. But I don't know. It just again, as another one, just didn't grab me. Didn't like when I get hooked on a game, I get hooked good, and I just didn't get that from this one.
No.
No. So, but yeah, it is on Game Pass. So if people got Game Pass,
What was the
definitely.
other thing? There's another building village game. What was it? Wandering Village. Did you try that one?
Oh,
Yes, I
maybe
haven't
that's what
tried
I
that.
was thinking about then.
Yeah, no, that's the one where you're on the back of a turtle.
Yeah.
No, I haven't tried that one yet.
Not quite
That
as
is.
high in the sky. Obviously on the back of a giant turtle.
So yeah, no, I'm gonna try that one out at a later date. The Wandering Village.
It
Because
looks
that
kind of
is.
nice. This Airborne Kingdom. It's got a nice.
It does, yeah. It's nice graphics. Like the UI and sort of how it presents itself is really good. Because you're up high and the resources on the ground. It shows the number of the units of like trees and food and water and stuff like
It
on the
looks like
ground
if the
quite
Wright
cleverly.
brothers build a flying city. It's not
It's
like modern, is it? It's like
no,
old
yeah,
fashioned.
it's like I don't know, yeah, not well, 1800s,
Yeah.
or 1900s. I can remember.
Yeah, it's like someone sort of envisioned this happening in like 200 years ago or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's like, and yeah, you use balloons and the big fans and to
Giant
stay
propellers.
airborne. Yeah, it's quite good. I haven't quite got as far as what we're watching on the map now, but yeah, it's basically a map exploration and yeah, keeping your
Is there a story?
population alive. There is a story. You've got to unite the kingdoms through meeting them and then doing various side quests and bits and bobs. But yeah, so the town kingdom in the sky is mobile, and you click around the map and you go in certain directions and you interact with things on the ground. Whether that be harvesting the resources to build more of your kingdom, recruiting people to work there, or meeting different kingdoms and doing various things for them. I say I'm only an hour in. It hasn't grabbed me.
That might be the only hour that gets played.
There might be more to it. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have the time or inclination to look at it. So
Too busy trying to pirate Switch games.
I'm just busy nowadays. I'm just
Got a week off.
Honestly, I've today was the only day that I didn't have my alarm set for 6:15 in the morning.
Yeesh, that's not a holiday.
Yeah, that it's just I've got to get up, walk the dog, and sort stuff out, and like it's been a lot doing gardening. Gardening's the biggest thing at the moment. I've just had to get a second brown bin, because there's just too much. I can't get rid of enough quick enough. So yeah, it's a big old commitment.
You've got an insect-friendly garden at the moment. Is that what you're saying? And now you're destroying it.
We've got a very unruly garden that I really should have got somebody in to come in and take out 50% to 60% of the stuff.
Can you, when you find someone, can you send them around to my next door neighbour's garden?
And chop all their stuff.
He needs to get rid of his fucking ivy that's just taken over the whole of his. It's virtually taken over. It's like fucking The Last of Us next door.
Talking about that. I forgot to say, and what we did, I bought a mini chainsaw.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
It's a little like 10 centimeter, like a
10 inch or 10
handheld.
centimetres, quite a big difference, Dave.
I don't know.
Whatever you're doing
What's
there looks like
what's that?
neither.
Alright.
Ask your missus.
Yeah, it's about that length. It's about a can's length of that's a good 10 inches. That is.
Yeah,
It's not
at least 10.
anyway. Yeah. um. So a little handheld chainsaw
Nice.
because we've got
Aren't most
is it,
chainsaws handheld?
a
Technically, yes.
single-handed, not double-handed. So I can have a shield and a chainsaw.
Baby's first chainsaw.
Not So yeah, because
Can you attach it to your knee? Because that would be good. Slide along, like carving up your garden.
What game's that? Is that like Bayonetta or is it?
I've just
Uh,
told you what
She's
game
been
it was.
Talking about that, for goodness sake, Dave.
I'm sure. Is it Chainsaw Massacre? Oh, hang on.
No,
What's
it's
the
Turbo
one?
Overkill. You have a
Is
chainsaw
it?
in your knee.
Right.
He doesn't remember that bit.
That was literally about 10 minutes ago.
What else you
Um,
growing in that garden?
it's just like I'm so tired. I'm so tired.
Clearly.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a mini chainsaw, and it's been helping me get down most of the bushes around the garden. There's just too much stuff in the garden. So yeah.
God, you'll buy anything, won't you?
to get out of a little bit of work, yeah. I've just, although I don't pay the professional people because I don't know, I feel like I'm losing out and I'm not doing the hard work. But I don't want to do the hard work. I want to do easy work. So yeah, sorry, got distracted.
That's all right.
You got a game?
I've got a game. Neil can see what it is. He's probably got input on it. Do you want to do my game or do you want to do your game, Neil? 'Cause your game looks shit.
Oh, that's rude. Have you played it?
No, I just read it. I just looked at it on Steam.
Well, okay, we'll do my game and then we're going to end on your game because your game's definitely good. Better fucking say it's good. I played another game that came to PS Plus Extra this time. Came out this week. It's called Cursed to Golf. So, how do we describe this game? It's basically you're a little golfer. The tutorial is you're a golfer playing this big tournament, and you're like on the last hole, and you play your tee shot, your driver, and then you learn that you've got an iron and a wedge, but you don't have a putter in this game. And
okay.
when you are approaching your final shot in the tutorial, you get struck by lightning even, and are killed. And you get sent to Golf Purgatory. And you have to escape Golf Purgatory by completing 18 holes of golf. Hey, Lord, in the chat. So, to escape, as I say, you've got to play 18 holes. But the 18 holes, it's not like coffee golf, where it's like 3D. You're basically like the guy says, he's a Scotsman, apparently. I can't remember. He's called the Scotsman. That's what his name is. He's like your sort of. He leads the tutorial, and he's the shop vendor in the world, in the purgatory, Golf Purgatory. So you've basically got to get from the starting point in each hole to the hole, and it's like a platform, like a 2D platform game, but you traverse the platform by hitting a golf ball around. You start with 5 shots on each hole, and you have to you have opportunities to gain extra shots to complete each hole. So there are little gold statues around. If you hit a gold statue with your ball, you gain 4 shots. There are also silver statues that gain you 2 shots. and it's like a little maze that you have to get your ball around. There are ways to teleport. Right? There's like a few things that can get you around the level, other than just hitting the ball around. So there's little teleporters that you can shoot your ball into. This is, I mean, I'm seeing stuff on here thinking, I haven't seen this. I haven't seen it because I've only made it as far as 3 holes, basically. There's little obstacles in the way all the time, like there's fucking explosive barrels and shit like that that you can explode. I haven't actually hit them with a ball. I think you can hit them with a ball to make them explode, but that uses up a shot. You get a little deck of cards to play with as you go, that you can play a card to help you out. There was a mulligan card. Everyone who plays golf knows what a mulligan is, don't they? Basically, it's like you get to take your shot again. So if you fuck it
Anybody who plays golf properly has no need to know what a mulligan is.
Yeah, all right, okay. All right, Nick Faldo.
Fun fact, I've touched Nick Faldo's kitchen.
Wow. Is that a euphemism? So it's quite hard, basically. It's almost not, is it roguelike? I guess, kind of. So, because like at the end of it, if you fail a hole, you go back to the beginning and you have to start all over again. And it is kind of roguelike, you thinking about it, because in between your hole, like you get into your golf cart to travel around, and then there's a map up the right hand side of the screen. It looks very much like the Slay the Spire map. So you're pushing right to left in your golf cart to move across the screen to traverse to the next point on the map. But on the right hand side, you're moving up the map, and you can see the next thing that coming up is like either a hole of golf, or you might get to a point where you can take a left or a right, and on the left hand side is like a random card. It will give you a random card for your deck, and then followed by a hole, and then followed by a cursed hole. It has these cursed holes. Or if you turn right, there might be like pick up some cash and go to the shop before you go back to meet up the path and go on as one, and then it keeps diverting occasionally. So I'm very early days. It's fucking hard, is all I can say so far. Like I say, I keep getting to hole 3 and thinking I'm doing okay this time, I'm doing all right, and then just like it's so easy to just fucking have a mare. The actual mechanics of taking your shot. So you choose a club first of all, like a driver or your iron or your wedge. Obviously, driver goes a lot further, but it might not be suitable in each scenario because it might go too high and hit a fucking wall and come straight back at you. Happened multiple times. So basically, you start your shot and you get the power. So you have to like a little bar that goes up and down, up and down, up and down, and you have to stop it where you want the power to be. And then once you've done that, the angle bit comes in. So like the angle comes from you. It'll be like a little arc that it shows you up and down, up and down. It'll show you where you're going to hit the wall and where you're going. You've got to stop it at the right time to hit your shot. So I've definitely fucked that up quite a few times. Like gone too early and hit a wall up high, or gone too late and plonked it straight in the water. That way to go over, and then you lose a shot, obviously, and you have to go back to where you were. And if you run out of shots, that's it, done. Run's done. Back to the beginning. So it is cool. Oh, one thing, like the first few levels, you just playing like a shot, and then at some point, when you fail your first run, it goes, oh, now you can spin the ball. I was like, oh, basically, so that was extended tutorial, the first run. Mm-hmm. Because now, like, when you've hit the ball, you can now apply spin like you can in Tiger Woods. You tap, 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 tap on the X button and push in a direction to either make it spin, like carry on going further when it lands, or doing backspin to make it spin backwards. So
I was going to say, you can't put left or right on it. You have to.
Yeah, you are putting left or right on it effectively because that's the plane you're looking at. So depending on if you're facing left, then you pull right, it will do backspin and it will come back towards you, obviously. So it is kind of cool, but it's very fucking hard. And I think like you can go when you go to the shop in your run, you can buy cards and put them in your deck, like put them in like a second deck to keep for later. So I'm like, there might be a few runs you need to go on to like to store up a good deck of cards before you go on. Like, this is the run I'm going to do to try and actually get out. But that could take quite a while, I think. There's another mechanic I've just reminded me. Like looking on the screen, there's like a fans around. So if you hit the ball into the path of a fan, it'll grab the ball and then shoot it wherever it's going to shoot it. Most of the time, that appears to be helpful in the early stages. I did mention cursed holes earlier. So in a cursed hole, which usually comes after, like, you can choose a path. Like, there's like, when you get to choose a path, there's usually like what looks like an easier path and a more difficult path. But before you get to the difficult part on the path, there's a couple of nice rewards to tease you into going that way. So you get a card, extra card for free, you get some extra cash, and then you go into these cursed holes, which are hard because the hole plays out like a normal hole for the first few shots, but every time you take a shot, this meter builds, and when it's full, you get a curse. And that I've had multiple curses so far. A couple of times, I've had multiple. I've had 2 or 3. 2 I can definitely remember. I say definitely. I did have it in my head a moment ago. One of them is wind, where it starts blowing left to right or right to left for your next shot. Literally lasts for one shot, whatever the curse is, and then goes back and starts building the meter again. And one of the curses didn't seem too bad. I can't remember what it was now. I've totally forgotten what it was. But there are obviously multiple different types of curses that can happen. Some more difficult to deal with than others. So it is a cool little game. Whether I'm going to finish it, it's a roguelike, so obviously not going to finish it. How long I play it for, I don't know. But so far, only an hour or so I've played.
You've talked about it longer than you played it.
I don't know. It's pretty cool. It is pretty cool, and but it is very hard, in my opinion.
What's that on? Steam?
That's on. I think it's probably on everything now. It's on Switch for
Steam.
sure. It's on Steam. It's on PlayStation Plus. Is where I played it. PlayStation Plus Extra is what I played it on. So yeah, it's a bit pixel-arty, I guess. I didn't say. It's very sort of old-fashioned-ish looking graphics-wise, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Nice icon.
All right, so what should we do?
I guess you've got to talk about your game.
No, this is where you said do your thing. What should we do then?
About what?
Check it out.
Check. What? What are we checking out?
Your game.
Well, only if you've got PS Plus or you want to buy it.
No.
Cursed to Golf. Check it out.
Okay, well then I will finish on my in my pursuit to get some sort of value out of the Game Pass, which I just resubscribed to. I was flicking through and I saw Tunic, and I know Tunic has had good reviews. I started it and didn't get on very well with it at the start. I found it quite frustrating, actually.
What, this time? You played it before, did you? Or is this time?
I'd played it, but I'd picked it up before, played it. It was proving difficult, and I got a little bit lost and frustrated and whatever. But I knew you had talked highly of it. People have talked highly of it. I knew there was a good game there, so it was one of those ones, right? Fraser, get back in there and find that good game that's in there. Give it a proper shake of the stick. Which is funny because that's what you start with, is a stick.
Nice.
And you can't kill shit. You can't kill shit with it. Well, you can, but it's not that great.
You have to be very careful.
But if you persevere, this is Death's Door, right? That's what I think. This is
better
Death's
than Death's
Door.
Door. You haven't finished it. You haven't finished.
I think saying it's better than Death's Door is, I'm a decent way through. I think saying it's Death's Door doesn't do Death's Door the service.
Death's Door's good. This is better. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, all right. Well, it
This
doesn't
has
have
got
to
a bit
be
more
win.
magic
It's
to
not a competition.
No.
But yeah, so I stuck at it. Once I got the sword, though, the whole game just changed. Once I got the sword, I was away to the races, right? Now I can kill stuff, and I didn't get killed as much, and so it wasn't as frustrating. And then suddenly I realized, okay, how do you approach this? It's a game, but like Death's Door, the fighting is fair. It's not hectic, but if you take on too many, you can easily get overwhelmed. it's totally similar to Death's Door, I think, in terms of the combat and that level of combat. But yeah, I stuck with it, and holy shit, did it just suddenly open up and was just phenomenal, right? I
Have you
could
been
not
picking
put
up
it
on
down.
all little secrets though? Like, how many pages of manual have you found? Because that's when I started to think, oh, actually, that's when it gets to like another level of game, when you start
Yeah,
picking
for
up on all the
sure.
little secrets.
For sure. You know, I've been reading the yeah, it's magical. From that point of view, it is a magical, tremendous little game. It's going to be in there probably in my top 5 for this year. It's a shame I didn't get to include it last year.
So really,
Yeah, but it's fantastic. It really is. And I love that the way it does that with the manual and slowly just reveals itself and encourages you and requires you to go in and read and, well, not even read. That's the magic
Because
of
you
it. There's
can't
no,
read,
there's,
'cause
there,
it's in the
there
foreign
is there
language.
is no actual there is no English.
right.
But
There
there
is
are
occasional,
clues.
like, have you noticed those bits of like writing on the manual pages? Like
Occasionally,
it's
very
like
small.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's like as if
yeah.
someone's had like when you had an old school Nintendo 64 manual or whatever, and people have literally written notes on the pages of the manual.
Yeah.
Don't always make
And
sense when you see them.
it's just such a lovely looking game too. Like it's beautiful. Beautiful. The aesthetic of it is fantastic. And like the first major boss that I got to just blew my mind. He was just awesome, right? Just not overly like massive or anything like that, but just the way they just had animated him, how hard he was and how he sounded. The sound was really what did it for me. And just little things like the map. I think on one of the pages, they have maps, right? One of the pages, there's I can't remember what it is. Was it the West Garden or something like that? You're looking at the map, and if you zoom into the map, it has that sort of printed dot look. Do you know what I mean? Like newspaper print. Like when you look really closely at news, I can't remember what they call it. It's offset printing, right? And then the little fox's head moves, and it looks as though they've done it in a way that it looks like it's absolutely part of that map, even though when you move it moves a little bit more. It's just so well done. It's really difficult to explain, but things like just the map on that page, I sit there looking at it for ages. It just looks so good.
It's one of those things that you're like, how did somebody think of that and then do it and then it looked good?
Yeah. It
Yeah,
looks like that. Like honestly, if you see it, you zoom in, it has that offset printing dot look to it. And then they've managed to superimpose your fox head in there, so it
right.
looks like it's part of the map, even though it's just a location indicator
It looks like a scan of a paper map
of a comic, right, or
yeah.
something, right? And then not only that, there's little markings on there, like it looks like someone's written on there in a biro, like literally with a Bic pen. It's so well done. It's such a joy to look at that game. Like I'm enthusiastic for just how beautiful and awesome that game looks. And I'm enjoying it, right? I'm going to admit I have dipped my toe into a walkthrough on a couple of occasions, but only just to stop me looking for things for hours, right? That's
I
I think there was
definitely spent a lot of time retracing steps that I probably, and there's things like you keep unlocking shortcuts effectively as you go around.
Yes.
Like, and it's one of those games like you're going around and going around and going around, and then you come back through a door and go, oh fuck me, I'm back here. Didn't know that was going to happen. And then all of a sudden you can just go back through that way that you just came out. But there's loads of mechanics that unlock through the game, which I like as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm quite a way through. I'm at probably the second major boss. I was too burned out to fight him the other day, so I've got him lined up, ready to fight. But yeah, I've just checked a walkthrough a couple of times. Like there was one time I think I'd finished everything that was. I was absolutely positive I'd rinsed one of the West Garden clean. I'd been round it 2 or 3 times, and then I was like, "What do I do next?" And I thought I'm just going to check a walkthrough rather than just trot around, because I did go down into some other areas and was like, oh no, I've been here before, and I've suddenly realized I'm going to be walking around for the next half an hour to find out what I'm supposed to do next. Like, can I just cut that time away so I don't feel like I've cheated on that? But yeah, and I'm desperately looking for other pages that I can find. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
did
it's all
eventually
good.
unlock the whole manual. I
Yeah.
don't know if you can finish the game without doing that. I think it's possible to finish the game without doing it, but I was like, I'm going to fucking find everything in this game. Everything was just so good. Once you get into the combat flow, and then, like I say, all of the little secrets to unlock, it's so good. So
It
good.
really is. Yeah. Sorry, I just got distracted and my phone went. But yeah, Tunic's fantastic. Yeah, I can't speak. I hopefully I'll be back next week to talk about finishing it. I can't be
And it's
that.
the Game Pass game as well.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah. So that's brilliant, right? So there you go. You know, just wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah, who needs double A or anything like that? Indies are where it's at.
Exactly. Good. All right. Well, that's all I've got. I'll continue with that then and be back to it next week, hopefully. So
Groovy.
yeah. So I think that's where we can call it a show then.
It's the show.
Yeah.
That's
Perfect.
the show.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to go off. I gotta do something. So who wants to do their finishing bit? Dave?
I'll do a finishing bit. You ready?
Yes.
Good. Thank you for listening to the Seal Podcast. If you'd like to ask us questions or get involved, please contact us either on Twitter or X at Seal Podcast. Email us at sealpodcast@gmail.com or join us on the Discord server. A link is pinned on Twitter. With YouTube and Twitch channels which we upload and stream to. Neil, shout out for
Shout
Twitch.
outs to Blake Sev for subscribing with Prime. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very
Fraser
much.
Moo subscribed with Prime.
Yes.
Thank you,
Pilch
Fraser.
was in the chat, said hello and stuff. And Lord, and an abandoned Felty Chowder for being a spammer of fucking I can get you more followers bullshit.
Oh, for God's
I'm
sake.
always dubious when someone suddenly randomly starts following while we're streaming. I'm like, hello. I literally it said, someone's following. I was like, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spam message. Yeah, fuck off. Banned.
Brilliant. All right. Okay. Well, thanks everyone for listening. I'm glad we got a show out. We'll keep you posted on next week. So Neil's not here. Dave, we're not sure what you're up to, are we? So we'll figure that out. But yeah, we'll try and let you know if we can.
Stream some
let you know.
Tunic.
Yeah, possibly. Yes. Okay, good. Well, thanks very much. And then until next week, then everyone, we'll catch up. We'll see you later.
See you soon.
Cheers, guys.
Later.
Bye.